On paper, you're winning, but it doesn't feel like freedom. Your calendar's full, the money's good, but there's zero margin for life. And if you stop, everything stops with you. This is an analogy of a dancing bear. Where a dancing bear at the circus, when it's performing, it's making money. When the dancing bear is not dancing, it's not making money. And so I think many people are stuck in this dancing bear scenario and feel like there's never a way to get out of it. And what I want to talk about right now is how I've been able to get out of it and some ideas on how you can do the same. My name is Daniel Linares, and this Event Pioneers podcast is for people running event companies who've already built real demand, real revenue, and real responsibility, but they feel like the business still runs through them. Stages is the framework that I use to help event entrepreneurs move from overwhelmed operator to clear, scalable, and visionary leader, one intentional stage at a time. And in today's episode, we're talking about what I call the six-figure hamster wheel, when the business looks successful, but you're stuck running faster just to stay in place. The six-figure hamster wheel is that phase where you're doing well financially, but everything depends on you. You're booked, you're respected, clients love you, but you're also the salesperson, the planner, the operator, the problem solver, and you're also the ceiling. This was me early on. I wanted to learn everything. Photoshop, marketing, networking, Facebook ads, Google ads, web design, logo design. I wanted to learn everything. And look, that hunger for learning came in handy. Let's not say learning is not important, but thinking you need to learn everything forever, and in order to grow, you got to learn this, and in order to grow, you got to learn that. That's definitely not the sustainable way of thinking. And so in my entertainment business, everything revolved around me. So I took the sales call, every planning call, bought all the equipment, used my own vehicle, did every setup, every breakdown, every event. If Daniel didn't show up, nothing moved. I was the dancing bear. And at some point, I realized that I wasn't building a business. I was building a very demanding job. So I started to ask a different question. What do real business owners know that I don't? And I just wanted to find where the masters were hanging out. Like, what rooms did I have to be in where people around me are going to lift me up with wisdom and experience? That's when I learned a simple but powerful idea: who, not how. Who, not how is stop thinking how to do everything yourself, but start asking, who can help me do the how? My friend Dean Jackson came up with the phrase. Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy wrote a book on it. And instead of figuring out how to do everything better, I started finding genius collaborators, specialists, people better than me. I delegated setup, I delegated breakdown, I delegated execution. Eventually, my role became showing up where I was highest leverage, not everywhere. If you're watching this and you feel like you're doing too much, here's what I want you to do. It's called an activity inventory. Game changer. I think in the past, I used to think about like, oh, I need to just hire somebody, insert role, right? On the org chart. Oh, I need to hire somebody, insert role. And I'd hire these people, and then I'm still stuck doing all these other things. And so an activity inventory is just grab a piece of paper, physical paper, digital paper, and every 15 minutes for an entire week, write down exactly what you're doing, right? Like email for 15 minutes, client call, running to the store to get milk, doing this, setting up at night for events on a Friday or on a Saturday. Every 15 minutes for 7 days, document what you're doing. Write it out in every 15-minute increments. All of it's going to be down, right? You can have 7 lists of what you're doing every single day. And at the end of the week, you take every activity and you put it into one of 4 categories. This is where it starts to get juicy. First category is, what do you love doing? And what is high leverage? Next category is, what do you like doing? And what are you good at? Third category is what you're kind of decent at. And then the fourth is, what do you dislike, or what are you just not good at? And so you just mapped everything out. What are you doing for 7 days? You now have these 4 categories to think about where you're spending time, how you're spending time. And then you start putting things into those 4 categories. Whatever lands in that last category is big opportunity of what to delegate first. So this might be a full-time hire, it might be a part-time person, or even this term that I love, like a micro specialist. Somebody that is a freelancer, that they're there when you need them, but they're not there full time. And so you can find these specialists on sites like Upwork, Fiverr. And then as the business grows, you then delegate what you're decent at, but you don't truly love. And that's the iteration of thinking on how to take all the things that you're doing, prioritize them into lowest areas of impact, and then highest, most leveraged areas of impact. And the goal's simple. You only eventually do what you love, and everything else is supported. it, right? So depending on what level of business you're at, if you could afford to hire a bunch of people, then you could do this very quickly. If cash flow is not as predictable and not as plentiful, then do this bit by bit. When you let go of what drains you, you buy back your time. There's a book by a guy named Dan Martell, and he's got a quote in the book that speaks to this so perfectly. Really resonated with me. Great book. Highly recommended. In the book, there's a quote: don't hire to grow your business, hire to buy back your time. Let me say that again. Don't hire to grow your business, hire to buy back your time. As a leader, I used to think, oh, well, I got to just hire the marketing person. I need to hire the salesperson. I need to hire this and this and this. More from like an organizational chart perspective. The better way of thinking of it is based on activities, what you're currently doing. Free yourself up from the things that are not as high leverage, or that you can actually get delegated for a nominal hourly rate. And so when you buy back your time, you as the leader can focus on $100, $500, $1,000 an hour CEO activities. And the real win is when collaborators are pushing your goals forward without you really needing to be in the weeds every day as a leader. So if you're stuck in the six-figure hamster wheel, I want you to hear this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're just operating from an identity that carried you here, but won't carry you forward. Getting out of the hamster wheel isn't just about better systems and delegation. It's only half the work. The other half is internal, because every next level of growth asks you to become someone new, someone who can tolerate more uncertainty, more responsibility, and more visibility without retreating back into control. In the next episode, we're shifting from the outer game to the inner game. We'll talk about fear, uncertainty, discomfort, and why those are not signs you're doing something wrong, but signals you're standing on the edge of expansion. This isn't about working harder. It's about thinking, leading, and deciding differently. Welcome to Event Pioneers.